Today marks our 4-month VANiversary. That's right, we have been on the road for exactly 4 months today. Now, if you're curious about how we're doing so far, well, stay tuned and we'll give you the scoop. Oh, and special shout out today to my daughter. It is her birthday. Yeah. Happy birthday, sweetie. Now, 4 months has gone by really fast. Now, we spent roughly a month in Washington, roughly a month in Idaho, a month in Montana, and we're probably about the 3-week mark right now in Utah. So first of all, I should probably go into a little bit of detail, give you a little more context on what it is I'm trying to accomplish here. The short story is that I get these, for lack of a better term, these splinters or obsessions in my head, and I have to follow through. It used to be if I was learning how to fly, or I was really into volunteer policing for a while. I volunteered at our local agency. I went to a reserve police academy. Subsequently, after that, it was important that I got, as a complementary credential to my policing credentials that I had acquired, my EMT certification and license, EMTB, in the state of California. And I get wrapped up in this stuff. And there's a number of things like that, but those are just quick examples. This nomadic sort of travel across the country, if you hear anything, it's Chaz is having a nightmare or something. That's kind of been an obsession of mine. And, you know, I used to have a Class A, and quite frankly, it was too big. It just didn't go into the places that I wanted to get to. And so that prompted me to start this idea of building out a van. The long and the short of this is that I'm not doing this because it was a consequence. This has been something that I've been wanting to do for a while. And so, you know, building out this van over the last few years has sort of helped me mitigate that splinter in my brain, knowing that at least I'm working towards that goal. Now that I've been on the road, I have no splinters in the brain. I have no current obsession to do something else. And part of that was my hope is that I would learn how to become sort of present in the moment, content in the moment. And so he's on the bed behind me asleep, just sort of running around. And that was my hope, is that I would just sort of lose that sort of longer term anxiety for whatever it was that I was trying to achieve. And just, especially as I'm, middle-aged, just be present in the moment. And to start paying attention to the beauty around me. And I think that that's been tough for me, because I'm always up here. I'm always in my head, and it's really easy for me to miss things of beauty. So as part of this whole van thing, my hope is that I'd already had some familiarity with photography and videography, at least the basics, right? And I thought that if I could incorporate that and try to get at least a video up every week or 10 days on YouTube, that would help me take a couple of days out of the week to search for beauty. And, I can tell you that when I did the police volunteer thing, this is just an example, but looking at expired tags on license plates, I know this is silly. It's not what I'm equating to beauty, but I'm just giving you an idea. After you start looking for these things after a period of time, you just see them. they're just there. You don't even look for them. They just become part of your, part of the periphery. They just, you can look down the road and not even know that you're looking at a license plate and go, oh wait, there's an expired tag there. You just know, right? And my hope is that beauty is going to be the same way, is that if I can condition myself in this journey to be able to take time out to to look on the markings of a tree at the carvings that people have made maybe many, many years ago, or to spend some time with astrophotography and go out and sit and look at the Milky Way. And I think it's been incorporating these tools, videography and photography. Even though I'm not a professional by any means, I'm trying to learn how to use the gear while I'm also trying to make sure that, much like looking for expired tags, that I see beauty where I wouldn't have seen it otherwise. Did you hear that? Sometimes it sounds like a mule, and other times it sounds like a howler monkey. It's just weird. But yeah, I mean, so for me, that is, if there's a catharsis here, that's going to be it. It's going to be when I get done with this trip. Again, I gave myself a year for this trip. I don't know if that's going to be long enough or too short, but I think that that's a reasonable amount of time for me to be able to recondition myself and extract that splinter from my mind, right? So after 4 months, I am happy that I am more adept at finding beauty. I think that incorporating the camera and videography and photography, even though I might not be that adept at it, just the effort and trying to get myself accustomed to wanting to share this with friends and family and anybody else who's interested in a similar adventure, along with this idea of storytelling, which I also hope to become more adept at, because the process of storytelling means that you have to be in the moment to be able to tell the story. And so that's going to be part of it too. So I think so far so good. Now, I think the last thing that's probably going to be a huge question for people is, am I lonely? And, I'm an introvert anyway, and I am extremely introspective. But there is a fine line between welcoming in and enjoying solitude and then the loneliness, right? I don't need people around as a general rule to be able to enjoy life. The loneliness part is tough, though. I am not exactly, how do I put this? I'm in my mid-50s traveling around in an old beat-up van. Sometimes that's a conversation starter. Sometimes that's a conversation ender, right? A companionship it sort of shows up unexpected. And even, right now where I'm just at this trailhead, when I got to this Deer Creek trailhead, there was nobody here. And I thought, you know what? This is so out of the way. I don't think I'm going to see anybody. And then later that night, 3 generations of hunters pull up. I did not know that this was the beginning of deer season for muzzle-loaded rifles, I guess, something like that. Anyway, it was fine. I mean, I was happy to have them when I got here. And as a matter of fact, I was looking around and I was thinking, this looks like a place that people are going to be riding their horses. And so I made sure that I sort of tucked the van back to where people had enough room to be able to get horse trailers in. And so when the horse trailer actually pulled up, I was like, I'm brilliant, right? But anyway, so I wake up the next morning and I introduce myself to the hunters, 3 generations of hunters, and hey, how would you like to have breakfast? We'll make you pancakes, bacon, eggs, orange juice, whatever you want. Sorry for all the noise last night. So, I spent the morning hanging out with these hunters and just enjoying a breakfast with people that I didn't know. And so it's moments like those that, yeah, things can get lonely, but that goes a long way. And then, just visiting family in Salt Lake City for a few days, that recharged my batteries. So I think what I need to do is just make sure that I give myself some opportunity to be able to make those connections on probably a more regular basis. But overall, I can't speak, overall, things have been going really well. I do have those moments of being anxious. I do have those moments of what the hell did I get myself into? And typically those types of anxieties or wondering what the hell I got myself into are situational. And so, when I get stuck in the mud, for example, what the hell am I doing? So it's stuff like that. When I was driving through Capitol Reef National Park, it was a white knuckle ride. It was extremely windy on a terrible road. And all I wanted to do was to look around and see that beauty. And I had to capture a lot of it just on my phone as I was driving, because I was focused on just getting through that adventure. Again, I'm hoping at the end of this to have some type of catharsis. I think I'm on track for that. And just trying to find the beauty in my life and those moments with other people. When they asked me for breakfast, I could have said no and just saying yes more. And it's good. And I'll let you know as the minute that I get another splinter in my head, but not getting one might be a good thing too. So anyway, look, that's it. Enjoy. And if you have any questions, leave them below. I'll respond ASAP because I only have 45 or 46 of you watching this stuff. So yeah, it's not like I need to thumb through the comments. I am Tim. I am still untethered. I am happy. We're happy and we're safe, and we'll keep you up to date. Bye now.
Too many days in the darkness without a glimpse of the light. Running tired and broken and scared, but I swear I'll never give up the fight.